Hey man, hey, welcome to Through the Surface podcast. This is another episode. Again, just trying to shine light on some of the top college athletes, top youth athletes, top high school prospects, not just in Northern California, my home, but also around the country. Today's a special episode. During my time as a graduate assistant at Cal, this was actually my first recruit. First kid I ever picked up from the airport, him and his family, driving around, doing my thing as a young graduate assistant, trying to make it in the coaching world. As an incoming freshman in 2022, he was already a preseason fourth team All Pac-12 selection. By the end of that same season, 2022, he was a second team All Conference running back. Going into this season already, he's a first team preseason All Conference running back. And just today was named to the Maxwell Award watch list, which is given annually to the top high school, or not top high school, top college player in the country. I don't think it'll be long until he's on the Doak Walker watch list. Ladies and gentlemen, I got my boy Jaydn Ott. Jaydn, what's going on?
Chilling.
Man, Jaydn, man, that's a mouthful, man. Tell me this, and I ain't gonna lie, this is something I wondered last season. How do you come in as a high school senior already a preseason Pac-12 selection? How does that work?
I feel like, because I've been working towards that like ever since like seventh grade. I was at Winter Circle, a prep school, getting you ready for high school, and then from there on to college. And so I was working out with guys like Damani Jackson and Corey Foreman, some of the top prospects in my class. And so, it was just a mindset thing, like coming in to work every day. It's like, I gotta outdo them. Right. And so I feel like some people actually saw the work that I had been putting in over the past couple of years, and I was blessed to be awarded or noticed as one of the top players coming in.
Yeah, that's something that it wasn't surprising to me, obviously, but it was just, man, like top rated recruit coming into the 22 class, 4-star prospect. So, you come in, you a spring enrollee, you are early enrollee, and then you go through the spring workouts, summer workouts, that type of thing, and then like you said, you put in the work. You got the recognition before you ever touched the college football field.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was like some added pressure? Or was that anything where you kind of looked at that like, you know what, like I'm getting the accolades already, I'm starting to feel the heat already at being a college athlete? Or was it kind of just, you know what, I'm going to just stay focused and stay low to the ground?
I mean, when I came in and people were telling me like, you got this award and that, and they think you're going to do this, it's really like even now when I got the
Maxwell.
Maxwell, yeah, I barely looked that up today. I didn't know what it was. So, like, I don't really pay attention to that stuff. It's like, I'm going to just put my head down and work because I know this ain't the end goal. So, I know there's a bunch of stuff that I got to do to get to that end goal of getting to the league. And so, yeah.
So, you kind of said earlier, you just said, it was a mindset thing. Mm-hmm. Where does that come from? Is that part of the upbringing? Is that where's that fabric from? Just the ability to just stay focused and developing that mindset to where it's like, I want to go in and I got a job to do. I'm training at Winter Circle with some of the top prospects. So how do you develop that mindset just from a youth?
I think it definitely comes from my family. I'm Black and Samoan.
Right.
So, I seen a lot of examples of what not to do and what I should do. I didn't see too many examples of what I'm supposed to do. But the examples I did see, like my older cousin, like Solomon Tuliaupupu, linebacker at USC, like I think I got like mindset from older cousins and people who were doing it right. Like, you feel me? When I would go work out with them, it's just different being around them. Like, it's a different vibe. Like, there's a different focus. Like, the focus isn't, for my cousin, when I would work out with him and I was in elementary school and he was in high school at Modern Day, balling. It was like we would go to workouts in the morning, and it's like it's a different mindset. Like we not sitting there talking about like, I mean, of course we talk about girls and stuff, but like
right.
a majority of it is football.
Right.
So yeah, working out in football. I mean, and the end goal of getting to the league.
So it sounded like you grew up, like your older cousins was playing ball, you know what I mean, that type of thing. So was that kind of how you got into the sport, just seeing older families, your older family members just involved in the sport, that type of thing, like you said, Black and Samoan? I mean, both the Black culture and the Samoan culture really heavy in football, you know what I mean? So talk about kind of how you got into the sport, you know what I mean, like from a young age, because I remember, you know, when I was doing my due diligence recruiting you, you know, seeing the picture, I don't know how old you was, maybe 5 or 6 years old. You got like the USC colors on in the
Yeah.
Pop Warner jersey.
Yeah.
So talk about just how you got into the sport and some of, you know, just your early memories kind of running around.
So I mean, my mom always said like that.
Shout out Miss Gail, by the way.
Yeah, Mama, she always said that when I was a baby, I wasn't ever walking anywhere. She said I was always running somewhere. But yeah, definitely looking up to my older not siblings, because I'm the oldest, but my older cousins, and especially my Uncle Coleman. On my dad's side, he was a standout quarterback in high school. And so I would go to his high school games and always hear his name on the being announced, making plays.
Right.
And so it was like, you know, I want to be able to do that one day. I want to hear my last name. I want them to call my name out, and you know, for things that I'm doing good on the field.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, you from Southern California. Are you from, where exactly are you from? Is it Chino? Is it Norco? Well, I mean, what area are you from down there?
I just claim IE, but like
Okay.
my grandparents have always been in Chino.
Okay.
So, I mean, I really say Chino because we literally move like every year. So
Right.
we've been in Riverside, San Bernardino, Chino, Eastville, Riverside. We've been everywhere. So, yeah, I just usually say IE.
Okay, and then you start off at Norco High School as a freshman on the varsity football team, correct? Man, so talk about that experience being a freshman on varsity. I can remember coming in my first year on varsity. Everybody talk about, you know, that welcome to varsity hit, like boom, like you playing big boy football now. So going through your freshman year from youth football, really, like what was the transition like going from youth football, boom, straight to varsity?
I think it was seamless, just like from high school to college. Like, I remember I had walked in the first day of practice for high school, and the freshmen and all, you know, a couple buddies that I had grown up with were like, "Oh, the freshman practice is down here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, bro, like I'm over here with varsity. Like I'm not doing no freshman ball." And then I remember I had seen the starting running back at the time. He was a senior. I had seen him getting ready for workouts, and I had walked up to him and I told him, I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna take your job." And so like, you know, I feel like the transition was seamless because like I'm already preparing for that in 7th grade. Like, I know what I want to do. I wanted to offer in 8th grade because I had seen a couple of my peers, like the top recruits in my class.
Okay.
I had seen them getting offers in 8th grade. So that was my goal, and I didn't make that happen because I didn't get my first offer until like freshman year. So I feel like I had like, you know, like damn near a chip on my shoulder.
Okay. So you get that, I mean, you obviously ball out that first season. You get it's the Oregon offer, correct? That's the first offer.
Nah, my first offer was Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that come about?
Dan Cheverini,
Okay.
he pulled up to the school, and he had seen me do, I was just messing around. I had finished my lift. He had seen me do like some box jump. I don't remember how high it was, but I guess it was pretty good. So I was just messing around, hopped up on there like it was nothing, and then I guess he said, my coach said that he came up to him, he was like, "Hey, I want to offer him," like, so that's how I got my first offer.
First offer. And that was that during the season or was that in the off season of the 9th grade year?
I damn near don't even remember.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, Colorado's the first offer, Pac-12 offer. At what point do you transfer to Bishop Gorman?
After my freshman season, because my mom had gotten a job in Vegas,
Right.
and we wound up moving down the street from Gorman.
Right.
So, I mean, at the time, I didn't even know about Gorman, but I ended up going there, and it was a cool little experience.
Okay. I mean, that's obviously one of the top high schools in the country. Who were some of the guys you was out there running around with?
I was with the 2 Branch brothers at USC right now,
yeah.
Zach and Zion. I was with Micah Bowens, another good quarterback. He went to Penn State and Oklahoma. Who else was I with? Rome Odunze he's at Washington right now, receiver.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ballers on that team.
Okay, so a bunch of guys out there in Vegas running around.
Mm-hmm.
So then you play at Gorman. What was the experience like?
I didn't play too much at Gorman, but like I like that I went. I'm happy that I went there because that was my first time going to private school.
Got you.
And so academically, like that set me apart. And so I learned a lot there, and how to be real, strict with my schoolwork, and I feel like it prepared me a lot for Cal, honestly.
Right.
I feel like if I had stayed at Norco all 4 years, and I don't know, I would have had some trouble here.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm grateful.
No doubt. Yeah, that preparation is definitely key, especially for a place like Berkeley. All right, so then you end up coming back down to Norco for your senior season, right? Wearing the number 8. All right. Talk to us a little bit about, because your recruiting process, I remember you committed to Oregon. So what went into that commitment, and kind of why commit so early in the process as well?
Man, they did me. I wanna tell this story. So I was on a recruiting visit with my older homie who was on the team at Norco with me.
Right.
And we had gone out to dinner with the coaches. I'm sitting across from the running back coach, and right next to me is the recruiting coordinator.
Yeah.
So the recruiting coordinator goes, and he's like, hey, tell the running back coach to eat that jalapeno on his plate, and you'll commit right now. And I'm like 14 years old, so I'm like, whatever.
You a freshman at this time?
Yeah.
Is this before you transferred to Gorman?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever, like, I want to see this dude eat this jalapeno. And it was a big old jalapeno, like this big. So, so he grabs the jalapeno, I'm like, hey, coach, eat that jalapeno real quick and I'll commit. He's like, oh, yeah? He's like, look me in my eyes and shake my hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like, whatever. I'm still thinking he's messing around.
Right.
And so he's like, all right, bet. So he grabs the jalapeno, kills it. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, post your commitment. And so everybody at the table's laughing. I laugh it off. I'm thinking everybody's joking. And then, boom, we're about to leave dinner. And Coach Mastro, the running back coach, he's like, hey, he's checking his phone. He's like, where's your commitment at? And
you got to hold you to your word.
yeah, I'm looking around at the table, and everybody's like, yeah, I commit. My teammate saying it, too. He was a commit at the time, too.
Right.
And, I'm 14 years old, so I'm like, shoot, I damn near got peer pressure, I'm not gonna lie. So I posted my commitment, and
Right.
I'm not mad about it, though, because I remember when I first made my Instagram, I was 12 years old, and I put in my bio, future Oregon commit.
Okay,
So,
manifestation.
Yeah, so it was cool for a little bit, but, I didn't really understand at the time, like, what that meant, so.
Okay. So, the offers start rolling in. And what is it like to be kind of, flooded with a bunch of offers and being wanted by, a lot of schools on the West Coast? I mean, your offers went all the way across the country to Wisconsin and that type of thing. So, talk about just what it is, the recruiting process as a whole for you. What was your experience like with the entire recruiting process?
Sure, honestly, it was a lot. I mean, having to keep in contact with all these coaches and stuff, it was like dealing with, some females. So, I mean, yeah, like having to keep those conversations up with people.
Do you feel like the conversations with these coaches, like, are genuine? Like, because you know what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what they want. You know they want you to come play for them and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I remember, like, when I was working here, a big thing was talking about relationship building. So, when can you kind of tell, like, the relationship with this coach is truly different versus another coach where the school might be, it might be have more bells and whistles, or they might have had a better a season the year before.
Yeah.
When can you really tell when the relationship is genuine?
Shoot, honestly, that's a good question. I think it takes time to realize that the relationship is genuine. Like,
Okay.
I mean, for example, you guys were on me from the jump and until all the way to the end of my senior season. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, I felt the connection there, and then there was other guys who was like, I mean, like for example, USC and UCLA, man. I remember I went on my UCLA visit, and first of all, I get there, and they put me on a scale immediately. So I was like, what the hell? Put me on a scale, and then I'm trying to meet with the running back coach on the field and stuff, and I can't find him. I'm texting him, like, he's not answering. It's like, so, you know, I had a couple incidents like that with schools, and so.
Okay.
And just the conversations I had, like when I came on my visit, the conversations are different with when people are being genuine.
Yeah.
Like with Coach AT and you and Benji and a lot of the guys here. I mean, I definitely had some similar conversations with other coaches at other schools, but yeah, I think it takes time to realize how genuine people actually are being.
Right. Okay, so, you know, you end up decommitting from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the summer of, I believe, 2021, you come out to Cal for your official visit.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember still sitting in the big recruiting or team room, the current team room. It's all the coaches, the GAs, everybody. Mr. Zach Boston's at the front. We kind of going down the list.
Mm-hmm.
They talking about the guys. And we looking at a little bit of Jaydn Ott practice film at Bishop Gorman.
Mm-hmm.
And they talking about, you know, how you a long strider when you run and this, that, and the third, and the speed is, you know, off the meter and that type of thing. And I just remember sitting there like, because I was with AT almost every day. Mm-hmm. You know, I was with Coach Musgrave almost pretty much the whole day, both of them. Mm-hmm. So I could just remember like, man, like if I'm gonna make a name for myself, I gotta help get this guy. Like I gotta help get this guy. So you come on your recruiting trip to Cal, like, because I went into it with a game plan. When they told me, okay, you got Jaydn Ott, I'm like, all right, perfect. Did you come in with the game plan when you were coming to visit with your family based on, you know, a list on things you guys wanted to see? Because I tell kids now when I'm training kids, hey, when you guys are going on visits, it's an interview from both sides. We're interviewing you guys as the prospects, and the prospects and you guys as families are interviewing us as the university. That's something Coach Wilcox taught.
Yeah.
So what was kind of the checklist you guys had, you and your mom and the family had when you were coming to the visit here at Cal?
Yeah, I'm definitely blessed because my mom and my dad, you know, they played a big part in telling me you need to ask questions.
Right.
And in fact, my mom even on my visit, after the interview with Coach Wilcox, she said, okay, well, now I need to interview you. And so she pulled out her notes, and I'm sitting there, you know, because I'm not understanding at the time. I'm sitting there like a little embarrassed, but you feel me? And so she asked her questions, and now that I'm looking back on it, I'm happy that she did that, and I'll definitely advise kids in high school, like, hey, go in there with questions. She had me make a vision board. She had me make a bunch of posters with the top schools I was considering, and split the poster in half and write pros and cons on each side.
Okay.
And I remember, you know, doing that in the living room, sitting up with her late night and just going through everything and going through the things that were important to me to have in a school and things that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's how that went down.
All right. So then, you know, you go on your visit. Man, I remember driving you around, doing like, man, it was a ball. I had a good time. That was fun. I think we went to like a little steakhouse or something like that.
Gauchos.
Yeah, Gauchos on the visit. Love Gauchos. I ain't gonna lie. So you kind of go through the rest of the summer and that kind of thing. Were there some? I think you took another visit before the season, no? Or because you committed shortly after.
I committed 2 weeks after.
2 weeks after.
Because I had left.
Why did you commit?
I had left right after. After I had left Cal,
Yeah.
I got home and I was like, man, I want to commit. Like, but my coaches and my mom, they were like, wait 2 weeks. If you still feel the same way, then commit.
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks later hit, and I was like, hey, I still love Cal. Like, I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why I chose Cal is like, I feel like I could go in there and help the team out, you know, as a freshman.
Yeah.
So that was a part of the reason why I came. And then also like that Berkeley degree.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, the Berkeley degree. No, that's definitely not to be underrated.
And the connections too. Like, man, I done met so many people here like that.
In 1 year, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, shoot. I mean, they might only mess with me because of football, but hey, like you feel me? Like I'm making good connections, and I'm happy I came here.
Okay. So you go through the summer 21. You commit 2 weeks later after the visit, that whole thing. And then, we staying in contact, obviously. You talking to the program, everybody involved in the program. And then you decommit. So the decommitment, talk about, what kind of went into that. Was it a little bit of buyer's remorse? Did you kind of just want to see what else was out there and you didn't want to do it while you still were committed to a school?
Yeah.
Or what was kind of the reason behind the decommitment?
Yeah, so I decommitted because, like you said, like I didn't want to go out on other visits while I was committed. Like
Right.
that just seemed shady.
Yeah, that's respectful. Yeah, respectful thing to do. Yeah.
So I was like, let me decommit, because this was my first visit.
Right.
And I hadn't seen anything else, and I
First
committed.
visit after the Oregon visit, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That was
that was unofficial.
Okay.
So, you feel me? I mean, I got to see what it was like from my big homie, but my first visit, everything was about me, and so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, I didn't really get to see everywhere else, and then a couple more offers started pouring in. So I'm like, hey, let me go check this out. Let me go see what they got going on, and then if I still feel the same way, which I did, in the end, I'm gonna come back to Cal.
Yeah, because I remember you went up to Oregon State, Wisconsin. Did you trip to Colorado? Okay, trip to Colorado. Yeah, I had a recruiting battle there with my boy Deontay Cooper.
Yeah.
Currently the director of player personnel at Boise State. Shout out Coach Coop. What's going on, baby?
Yo, what up, Coach?
Coach Coop, that's my man right there. So the season goes through. I mean, we stay in contact. Like you said, Cal was just on you the entire way through. And let's talk about the recommitment. I mean, was it just the consistency of the recruiting? You kind of just thought the relationship was genuine, more genuine than these other places that you had going on to trips to?
Yeah.
What was it that went into the recommitment, Jaydn?
Definitely, as far as like, I wanted to come here and make connections.
Yeah.
So, and get this degree.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing, and then it was for sure like, cause y'all stayed on me. It was like I could tell it was genuine, and sure enough, I was right. Cause when I came here, people acted the same way. Like it was no switch up.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what went into the recommitment.
Okay, so you do that December. You sign at the early signing date. You enroll in spring. Now, was enrolling in the springtime, was that a goal from the beginning, from the high school time, or their time in middle school to enroll early?
From 7th grade, I was trying to enroll early, cause like that's what all my older bros were doing, who I would train with, like the guys who would come in from college, like and train on their spring breaks and stuff. Like that's what they were doing, and was early enrolling. So I wanted to do what they were doing because I saw they were having a little bit of success.
Right. Okay. So then you come in the spring. I mean, like you said, you went straight from 8th grade to varsity football. So now you're going from high school, boom, to the Pac-12, early enrollee. What was the preparation like, just getting ready? I heard you say seamless transition earlier. I mean, but I'm also talking about the classroom. You said Gorman helped prepare you. So just talk about that transition after, just going through a full spring. Because, I mean, technically you're still supposed to be a high school senior. So how was that first spring for you running the pro-style offense of Billy Musgrave?
Shoot, I mean, it was a lot to learn. Like, coming in from high school, I didn't know what a 3 technique was.
Right.
So it was a lot to learn. I had to learn all the plays. But, shoot, a big shout out to Damian Moore and DeCarlos Brooks.
Right.
I mean, they were selfless, and, like, they were always willing to help. Like, they didn't ever act any, throw any shade at me or no slick remarks or anything. And in fact, like, I remember one game at Oregon State last year. I don't believe he got in that game, but I came to the sideline and he saw I was like upset because our run game just wasn't going. And he was like, "Hey, bro, you need to pick your head up. Like right now, you was driving the team. Like, it's cool, you could feel that way, but you can't show it."
Yeah.
And so, I think a part of the reason that the transition was seamless was because of Dame and
the help from the
Carlos.
veterans.
Yeah. And shoot, I'm thankful for that. And spending a lot of time with Coach AT, like bugging him, trying to get in the film room.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay. So, you kind of jumped into it your first season a little bit. How did you find out that you were going to become the starter? Because I still remember your first touchdown. I think it was right here going into the end zone closest to the locker room. Swing pass against UC Davis, correct? To the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
So how did you find out you were going to become the starter, and what was that like for you?
So after the first game, I forgot what game. I started the third game.
Yep.
After the first 2 games, I had gotten in and I made a couple things happen. I think I had like 130 from scrimmage my first game. And in the second game, I was only one to score on offense. So I had found out from Dame before I did from Coach AT.
Okay.
And he had let me know. He was like, hey, bro, I think you're going to start. So, you need to be ready.
Yeah.
And then after that talk with Dame, then Coach AT sat me down. And he just let me know, like, hey, you making some plays, so I'm going to throw you in the rotation first.
Yeah. And that was the Arizona game?
Nah, that was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Talk about Notre Dame. What was that environment like walking into South Bend? I mean, super close game, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, it was cool. The environment, man, like seeing that on the movies, the stadium.
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. And then hearing about Manti Te'o. And Manti Te'o, I think he had gotten inducted into the Hall of Fame.
That day?
That day.
Nice.
That we came out there. So I remember he walked past the sideline.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, like I remember this dude.
Yeah.
And so it was surreal being there, for sure. But, I mean, the game just didn't turn out how we wanted it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But that Arizona game now, I don't think you guys was unprepared for that one. Now, you go into that game, I think it was a 74-yard run.
72.
72?
Yeah.
Was it 19G, 19G when you broke the long run?
It was
up
19.
the left sideline?
Yeah, it was 19.
19G. All right. So you run for 274 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about just everything that went into that and what everybody's reaction was and what your reaction was during the game, while it was happening, and after the game.
Yeah, I mean, during the game, I didn't even realize what was going on. Like, I feel like during the games, I'll just be out there running. Like, I don't really focus on, like, stats and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I think at one point I had walked on the sideline after a touchdown, and my boy Mason Starling was like, hey, bro, you already at 100. And I was like, oh, for real?
Mason Starling, San Mateo Junior College, Cal Berkeley Bears. Shout out Big Bass, man.
My guy.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, for real? Like, that's cool. And then I just kept playing. I think I scored another touchdown. And he was like, hey, bro, you at 200. I'm like, oh, for real?
Mason keeping tabs.
Yeah. I was like, dang, that's cool. And then so then I had broken off that last one, and then that put me at, like, I don't remember how many I had that game, but that set it off.
274.
Oh, yeah.
274.
So, yeah, after he had said that, hey, bro, that's 200. Like, I was like, okay, cool. And then I was trying to get to 300, but shoot.
So, obviously, last season, it was up and down, you know what I mean, throughout the year. As a freshman, as a true freshman and emerging as a leader on the team, how do you continue to keep the guys motivated through a year like last season, especially being a fresh new face on the team? I mean, granted, you're getting the respect of everybody in the program, by your play on the field, your work ethic, that type of thing. So how did you take it as a young, true freshman to continue to keep these guys motivated who might have been here for 3, 4, 5 years?
Shoot, honestly, like, I'm not a big talker.
Yeah.
And I feel like I lead more by example.
Okay.
But thankfully, we had guys like Jack Plummer on the offense. He's a real vocal leader, real smart dude. And, we had Matthew Cindric, also vocal, and Ben Coleman.
Ben Coleman.
Yeah.
Ben Coleman. Hey,
That's
Ben
my
Coleman's
dog.
Ben Coleman's shout out Ben Coleman, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Shoot.
sure.
Yeah, they for sure all looked out. And, I mean, I would just sit back and I feel like the way I spoke to the team was, like, just through action. Like, coming in every day at practice, working in the weight room, and then showing up on game day. But I feel like definitely towards the end of the season, I was trying to do a little bit too much just to make things happen.
Okay.
So, I mean, shoot, we'll work on it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you have a great season, run for almost 900 yards. You know, and then the off season comes. You know what I mean? And then you kind of learn about the business of college football a little bit. Offensive coordinator change, new offensive line
That happened
coach.
mid-season.
Yeah, they definitely happened mid-season. So you start seeing these different things happen, you know, throughout your first year. You get to the spring. What's kind of the mindset of the team going into the spring after last season?
Shoot. Honestly, it was a lot of brand new faces.
Right. Yeah, I saw about 50 new faces.
52.
52 new faces ended up coming in. Okay.
But I feel like the mindset, the guys that did stay, you know, they want to build something here. And so I feel like we all have a similar mindset as far as the work that we put in the weight room and during winter workouts. Like, shoot, winter workouts was tough. Coach B turned it up on us this year.
Coach Brian Johnson.
Yeah, we was down there on Maxwell Field. He had set up some cones, damn near like 60 yards out, and it was like running a 300 on the track. So we had the curve, and I think we run about 6 with minimal rest.
Yeah.
And dude, there was guys crying.
Yeah. College athletes.
Yeah, for real. Like real life tears, crying, telling the coach, I can't get up. I remember one dude was like, my ass is cramping.
Who said that?
I ain't gonna out him.
Yeah.
But Coach Trey was like, I don't give a
Oh,
get
it's a DB. It was one of them defenders. It better not have been Lou.
But yeah, man, that was tough. And then summer workouts too. When we was here, they turned it up even some more. Like, compared to last year's fourth quarters, this year was crazy.
Yeah.
But shoot, I think we grew a lot this year in the off season. You know, so I feel like what it taught us as a team was like, you know we're gonna be all right the first couple of games in the season. Like, we're gonna come out fresh, everybody gonna be good. But I feel like what that taught us is how we gonna react in the later parts of the season. When you tired, when you feeling beat up, like how we gonna react?
Yeah, definitely. I watched a little bit of the Pac-12 Media Day, and Matthew Cindric kind of was talking a little bit about how the fourth quarters were, like you said, they was elevated. You know what I mean? Different from last year. And that's just
they missed fourth quarters the day they were there.
Yeah.
Him and Sermon missed fourth quarters.
Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. They got to go represent the program. You know what I mean? They'll make it up. They'll make it up. So you kind of said it, 52 new faces on the team this year. The running back room is almost a complete makeover.
Yeah.
You kind of said it earlier, you know, Moore at Fresno State now, DeCarlos Brooks over there at Arizona State, went back home. They were helping you. So now, how are you helping the new running backs? You know, whether they're older or younger is irrelevant, but you're the leader, not just the room, but really it seems like the team now. So, you know, how are you helping them? How are you paying that forward?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, before I was treated how I was by Dame and DeCarlos, I don't know how I would have reacted. You know, to like if I were in the shoes of that senior running back that I had told I was gonna come take his spot.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have told him, like, get the hell out of my face, don't ask me no questions.
Right.
But since they showed me that love, I feel like I had a change of heart, and like I definitely want to see everybody win, especially in our room. Like, you know, when I'm not in, somebody else gonna have to do it. So with the newcomers, like Jet out here from Oakland, like he constantly asking questions, like just like how I was when I came in.
Yep.
And I'm always there to answer, you feel me? And we got another freshman, Dean, who came in. You know, they always want to get some extra work, and I'm always up for it, especially the new guys, too. Like, you know, they also ask questions about how things work around here. And so, you know, I make sure that I do my best to make them feel welcome.
Okay.
In the running back room, because I don't know how hard it is, you know, transferring or from a new or to a new school, but I'm sure it ain't easy. So I definitely want to make that process easy on them and do whatever I can to help.
Yeah. No, yeah, like you said, paying it forward, that's a part of the game. You know, it's done for you, so you doing it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, first team preseason All Pac-12, you and Jack. Maxwell Watch List Award. Almost 1,000 yards as a freshman, as a true freshman. I mean, with all this success in a short amount of time, I mean, there's going to be haters. You know what I mean? There's not only going to be haters, but there's going to be comparisons. And not just comparisons to other people, Jaydn, but comparing yourself to who you were last season, comparing you to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kind of how have you been able to deal with the haters, or is that something you even pay attention to? And how do you plan on dealing with the comparisons, not to other players or backs in the conference or anything like that, but just to what you might have did the year before?
Sure. I mean, as far as dealing with haters, I don't know. I don't ever feel like I've had an issue dealing with that. Like, it kind of just goes in one ear and out the other.
Got you.
But yeah, I mean, I got a real supportive team, so that helps a ton.
Of course.
But yeah, what was the second question?
Like, how do you plan on dealing with the comparison of how you did last season to this season? Because last year you almost had 1,000 yards, right? And then I remember I read your interview on PFF, and you said that like, hey, if I don't get 1,000 yards, you know, and the team's balling out, then great. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So just how do you plan on dealing with the comparisons of Jaydn Ott, the sophomore, Jaydn Ott, the freshman?
I mean, I feel like the way I deal with it is out here on the field this off season, like how I was working.
Right.
I feel like that's the way that I dealt with it. Like, okay, I mean, me personally, I don't even need the external motivation from people to hear them say like, hey, you better do better than you did last season. Like, it's like I want that for myself already. So when you say it, it's like, I mean, again, that's gonna go in one ear and out the other because I already know what I want for myself.
Yeah.
And I know I know how to push myself, and you feel me, like, especially during fourth quarters, I'm out there running with the receivers along with the other running backs. You know, we all trying to get better and push each other. Okay,
yeah. All right, man. I got some quick hitter questions. The answers don't got to be super elaborate. You know what I mean? So, pregame playlist. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Blue Bucks is on there.
Blue Bucks, yeah.
Blue Bucks Clan.
Shout out to Clan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Clan. They showed love last season for sure.
Who else on that playlist before the game?
The Clan, I got JD Youngin. I got Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Who else I got on there? Ice Cube really turned me up. That old school, anything old school West Coast turned me up.
What you listening to old school Ice Cube? Was it No Vaseline, The Diss, It Was a Good Day? That's kind of more mellow vibe though.
Yeah, I listen to like Bow Down.
Bow Down, yeah.
If You Scared, Go to Church.
Oh yeah. From Laugh Down Cry Later with Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Man, just kind of scrolling through your Instagram a little bit, like, and just looking at the stories. I mean, you be on there product clout busting. You know what I'm saying?
I got it from you.
Hey, come on, man.
I got it from you. I got the same one.
Big ones. This ain't the So, I mean, that's kind of the question. Where the fashion sense, I mean, you got the Prada's on, you got the bell-bottom long black pants on. I mean, it's a little different. It's like you already in the league with the fashion. I mean,
man,
come on. Where'd that come from?
Bruh, shoot, I like to look nice, man. Like,
talk about it.
when I go to class, I go home, I shower, you feel me? I throw in my nuggets, I put on my chain, you feel me? Like, whenever I go out, I like to feel good for myself.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's really it. Like, I like to put it on for me, not
Yeah.
even for anybody else. Of course, for the
Okay.
shorties, but
Man, I remember just watching your tape, man, and when I look at running backs, you know, I like guys with speed that could catch the football and that's not afraid to block. So if you got speed, you could catch the football and you're not afraid to block, I feel like I could work with you. What would you say your top 3 traits are for a running back if you was making the perfect running back? Just 3 traits, the top 3.
I would say catching the ball.
Okay.
Especially now, because, like, you feel me, like, the game is changing. Like, you need to be able to catch out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be making the first guy miss. I mean, I feel like it's so simple. It's just, like, instinct. Like, if I were to go out, like, on a swing pass and I see one dude in front of me, it's like, really, you just going to bring one guy?
Right.
That's it. Like, okay, I got this. It's light work. And then 3, I would say speed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really notice it, but I guess a lot of people say I'm fast. So
Yeah. I mean, you long striding it too down
Yeah,
there too. So I
yeah.
mean, it's like you really running with every stride is look like you covering 2 yards. I'm like, golly. I'm gonna run down the list right now. All right. I know you born in 2002, so you might not know a lot of these names, nah, but I'm gonna run off a list of running backs from each decade, starting with 1980.
All right.
So I'm gonna just go down the list. I want you to tell me the best back. All right. Soon as you hear the name, I would want you to just boom. That's the name. I'll go to the next year.
all right, bet.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. 1980. Eric Dickerson, Marcus Allen, James Brooks, Roger Craig, Walter Payton, John Riggins, Neil Anderson, Herschel Walker, Kurt Warner, Gerald Riggs.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton?
Yeah, that's who I grew up watching.
Okay.
Or I didn't grow up watching him, but like
He said grew up. It was 2002. NFL films, maybe.
Yeah.
NFL films, yeah.
No, my pops had went to the thrift store and got me a VHS tape,
Okay, yeah.
and it was like 1900 something.
Shout out Pop, man.
Yeah. He got me some tape. It was like 1900 greatest NFL highlights.
Right.
A majority of the highlights was Barry Sanders and Walter Payton.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Walter Payton.
All right, that's the 80s. Here goes the 1990s, Jaydn. We got Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, my personal favorite, Ricky Waters, Terrell Davis, Thurman Thomas, Curtis Martin, Robert Smith, Terry Allen, Jerome Bettis.
Shoot, I gotta go with Barry.
Barry,
'Cause
okay.
That's who I was watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
before the game.
You ain't gonna go with the all-time leading rusher?
I know.
Forgot about Terrell.
I know. That's why
Not
I
Emmitt
said,
Smith?
nah.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Barry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is, I mean, super elusive too, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just
Yeah.
enjoying that style.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. 2000s. You might have grew up watching these guys.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. LaDainian Tomlinson, Priest Holmes, Brian Rushbrook, Clinton Portis, Sean Alexander, Maurice Jones-Drew, Thomas Jones. Here we go. Fred Taylor, Tiki Barber, Jamal Charles.
Adrian Peterson in there? He
Not
two
this is
tens?
2000. Yeah, he'll be
Oh,
on the
okay.
You got LT, Priest Holmes.
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
got
go with-
Sean Alexander, Fred Taylor,
I'm gonna go with LT.
LT. I mean,
Yeah.
you scored 30-plus touchdowns in the season.
30 is crazy.
That's what in the league? Back when they had 16 games? Come on, man. Okay, so LT for the 2000s. We're going to go 2010s. All right, here we go. I
AP.
think AP,
Yeah.
he said it. So that's,
AP.
I mean, he picking AP over LaShawn
See,
McCoy.
I grew up watching him.
Right.
AP.
I agree.
I can say that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. We're going to get away from that one then. So now fast forward to the 2020s. I mean, who you like now? I mean, you got Derrick Henry, you got Christian McCaffrey, Saquon. I mean, who you like now? Who you watching?
I really like the way Alvin Kamara plays.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of the way, like, his training videos because
Okay.
he's got a different style of training. Like, he works a lot on balance.
Isometric, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And
seen
so I really like Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. I feel like he's not too flashy. Like, I feel like his style is just go in there and just get it done.
Get it
Like,
done.
you feel me? Like, stick to the book.
Yeah.
Saquon is hella fun to watch.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a
no
dog.
doubt about it.
Jonathan Taylor? What about Jonathan?
JT, yep, JT. Top.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite running backs too.
Okay.
Nick Chubb, that boy is a wrecking
Chubb
ball.
is a beast.
That boy is a wrecking
Out
ball.
of Georgia? Yeah. All right. So you just named some of the top backs, and I'm sure you kind of keep up on what's going on in the league, and you kind of seeing they pulling together. They was just on a Zoom call and not really happy with what's going on money-wise. I remember growing up watching SportsCenter and NFL Countdown, and you got Warren Sapp on there talking about running backs are a dime a dozen, and they come 2 nickels every time. Pretty much saying, like, you don't need a star back to win. Like, you could have, a change of pace back and, a bruiser, a thumper back, maybe like a Warwick Dunn and a TJ Duckett, for the old school Atlanta Falcons, what I'm saying, back in the day. So what's kind of your stance on, what's going on with the running back position as far as the value in the NFL, how, the top backs are pulling together to kind of figure out a solution with what's going on? What's your stance on all of this? Are you keeping up with what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for sure keeping up, man. As soon as I wake up, I've been turning on SportsCenter.
Okay.
Looking at that. And that's usually the first thing on is because what's it called? Training camp just started.
Yeah.
And, a
NFL
couple of them
Network
held
and
out.
stuff. Yeah.
So that was like something big that I would be watching while I'm eating breakfast.
Right.
And shoot, honestly, I hope they figure this out before I get to the league. But shoot, if they don't, I feel like that's why I even asked Coach the other day, I said, I need to go to slot. Like, I'm not playing. Like, I'm trying to be a Debo. Like,
Okay.
and get
Debo.
paid.
Definitely.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, right now I'm looking at it and I'm seeing how much money they're getting. And to me, it looks like a lot. But then when I'm seeing that kickers are average, their average salary is more than the running backs, like, that's crazy to me. So,
That is wild.
So, shoot, bro, I don't know. I might have to line up in the slot room if they don't get this fixed.
Man, so before you even get to the league, we still got the 2023 season. So, I mean, it's some games on that schedule now. I mean, that Auburn game, that's going to be a big one. I'm going to be down here for that. What's some games that you got circled on the calendar? Femi's at UCLA now on the defensive side of the ball. Are y'all talking back and forth with each other?
No.
What's some games you got circled on the calendar that you kind of looking forward to?
For sure, UCLA, we lost, two guys to them?
Okay.
And then definitely want to play D-Los at Arizona State.
Yeah, go see an old friend for sure.
I'm for sure excited about Auburn game.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody is, but we're going to take it one game at a time. First, we got UNT.
Okay.
We're going to lay it on them real quick. And then another game I'm excited about is Stanford. Like,
always.
Last year, my first experience with the big game, shoot, that was crazy, man. This whole stadium was packed. And then I got to score the game-winning touchdown, so that made it even more lit.
Legend, forever in the book.
Yeah.
Forever in the book.
Yeah, I got the big game hero thing, so that was cool. 'Cause right before the game,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Coach Wilcox was like, yeah, so this was last year's big game hero, and I was like, boy, I need to get that. But yeah, that's another game I'm looking forward to.
Man, you talked about Coach Wilcox, man, and I remember my first impression of Coach Wilcox was humility. That was my first impression.
Yeah.
And I remember your mom Gail kind of saying the same thing about Coach Wilcox. I can't remember what week it was, but just kind of during one of the team meetings before practice, he said to everybody in the program, "Hey man, keep your life lean." Meaning like, hey, limit the issues. Just keep the main thing.
Yep.
Keep your head forward, right, and just keep your life lean. What's kind of your impression of Coach Wilcox being this far, and what are some things that he's kind of said that's kind of resonated with you over the last year and a half?
Sure, I never heard him say that, but I like that for sure.
Yeah.
Man, my impression of Coach Wilcox, he's a real good dude. I mean, even when I came on my visit and my mom was pressing him in the interview, he came out with real good, genuine answers, and it was like, okay, like, he don't talk a lot, but when he does say something, like, you'll listen.
It's of substance, like what you like, for sure.
And it's he not saying no BS. He was saying, like, just as a whole, like, we need to be hard together. So that's one thing that stuck with me.
Okay, awesome. And then, Coach AT, obviously the running back coach. somebody that's near and dear to my heart. Just kind of watching you guys go through spring ball and, you know, kind of just keeping up with the program and that kind of thing. He talked about a willingness to work, you know what I mean? And, you know, how, you know, guys, he's interested in coaching guys who are willing to put the pedal to the metal and just work and grind and get the job done.
Yeah.
And is that something that you see the running back room kind of manifesting and becoming like maybe, I don't know, the motto, whatever. I know the motto is ROB.
Yeah.
We won't get into what that means.
Yeah.
But willingness to work, is that something you're kind of seeing from the guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot, when I first came in, like, it was he said, like, you know, there's a standard, like, every day.
Yeah.
In the meeting room, before we watch film, the first slide is something about, you know, living above the standard. And so, I mean, I feel like as a room, like, I feel like when the team looks at us, like, you feel me, they see that we have a standard within our own group.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it kind of, you know, I don't know, but like other people feed into that as well. And I feel like the new guys that have come, you know, like Byron, real hard worker.
Right.
I enjoy working with him.
Okay.
Jay Will from Tennessee,
Yep.
hard worker. Bo, my dog Bo.
Yeah, Bo.
Boy, hey,
Bo, baby.
I don't know anybody that work harder than Bo, man.
Right.
We'll do summer workouts, and then he'll go in the bike room for 45 minutes, like not just like chilling, like really pedaling.
Doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hit an ab workout, and then be back the next day, killing the workout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like in our RB room. Oh, and then we go up on that hill, Fire Trail Hill, together as a group.
Okay.
You know, and we run that together.
Camaraderie right there.
Yeah.
That's love.
So it's fun. We got that standard.
That's good.
For
That's
each
that
other.
willingness to work. That's exactly what AT is talking about. All right, man. 2 more questions for you. NIL. So who have you worked with? Who would you like to work with? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, from the Instagram page, it looked like you need to be on the cover of Louis Vuitton somewhere.
Shoot, I wish.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I mean, we see you on Instagram kind of doing your thing. Who would you like to work with that you maybe haven't worked with so far? You know, it's a gang of restaurants in town. I liked IB's. I thought IB's was off the hook over there on Durant.
You talking about
The food spot, IB's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what's some places that you like to work with?
I feel like
businesses.
as far as clothing, I really want to work with Palm Angels. That
I can
Palm
see
Angels.
that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And they look too expensive, so yeah, that's as far as clothing. As far as food, shoot. Either Gaucho's Steakhouse
Gauchos.
or 900 Grayson Chicken and Waffles.
Oh,
You been there?
what about Angeline's? What about Angeline's on Sadik over here?
I ain't never been there.
Louisiana Kitchen. You never been there? Oh, come on.
If I'm gonna eat Louisiana Kitchen, I'm gonna go to Coach AT's wife.
Hey, shout out Sarah Thompson.
Yes,
hey,
Miss
yeah.
Thompson.
Hey, can we get a crab boil?
Hey, that's what we did for my visit.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
That was crazy. Oh.
Yeah, if I'm gonna eat some Louisiana food, I'm gonna go eat at her house.
All right, man. Last question. Kind of what this podcast is about. You know, through the surface. What moment thus far in your life, football related, not football related, do you feel like has helped you break through the surface, where you've had your biggest breakthrough? I mean, last season was an amazing season, but there's so many layers to you as a person. It just seems like it started earlier than that. So what would you consider your biggest breakthrough thus far in your life to get you through the surface?
Shoot.
That rose coming through the concrete.
I feel like I don't know. Dang, that's a good question. I ain't never been asked that before.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to think, man, you've accomplished a lot. I mean, is it transitioning from you know, the youth to the high school game so seamlessly? Boom, breaking through there. I mean, getting your first college offer. Boom, breaking through there. You had the goal of getting it in the 8th grade. It didn't happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So then you had to double back. Boom, freshman year. Boom, I got it. You know, anything in the personal life, just what kind of helped you break through the concrete? Biggest moment thus far for you?
I think one of the biggest breakthroughs I've had so far is the transition from high school to college. Like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Ben Coleman will tell you the first game, we out there warming up on the field, and it was a simple play. Like, I was supposed to get the ball, and I get the ball, or they called a play, and it was supposed to be a run, and I went out and ran a swing route. And Ben,
I know Billy was like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah. I was like, "Damn, I'm not gonna play today."
Yeah.
And then Coach AT grabbed me. He was like, "Hey, bro," like, he talked to me. And then what really stuck with me was Ben Coleman. He grabbed me, pulled me aside. Was like, "Hey, bro, you supposed to be here. Like, I don't know what you've been through, but you feel me? Like, you got here and." You went through that spring ball, you went through the workouts, you went through fall camp. Like, you were meant to be here. And he had said the same thing the night before at the hotel to everybody.
Okay.
And it stuck with me even then. But when he pulled me to the side by myself in the tunnel, it was just like, it hit. And I feel like the breakthrough as far as, like, from high school to college was, like, realizing that, hey, when I really put my head down and I grind, I mean, I know I can get stuff done because I seen it happen from middle school to high school.
Right.
I got my offers, but, I mean, that don't really mean nothing because offers ain't nothing. You could go from high school balling to college and sitting out. But I feel like I really put my head down.
Yeah.
In a different type of way and just got to work as soon as I got here. Didn't say nothing. You feel me? Like, was quiet and just working and asking
Embraced by the
questions.
older guys.
Yeah. And just taking everything in.
Okay.
And, I feel like that was my breakthrough. Like, knowing that, hey, Jaydn, when you put your head down and work, like, you going to get what you want.
Yeah, that got you through the surface for sure. All right, man. You wore 8 at Norco your senior year. You wore 6 coming in. I still got the text message. Who's wearing number 4? Is anybody wearing 4? Because that's what you had on at the visit. The transition to 1 this year. So we're going to see Jaydn Ott number 1?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, we've been seeing it on Instagram. I mean,
Uno.
it's not just for the pictures, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So you rocking the Uno.
Yeah, we rocking the Uno and the tinted visor.
There it is.
But
So you gonna have the dreads, the number 1, and the 10 visor with the sleeve.
with the sleeve, hey,
What are we doing? He going crazy.
I done blew a bag with my VC.
Bless it. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Hey, it's good catching up. I'm going to have a jersey. I'm at the Auburn game. I'm going to have the number 1 jersey. I need an autograph. I'm going to have a throwback 6, too.
Hell
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I need you to hit both of them. I need the rookie one, and I need the Uno.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I need me a number 6 jersey. They ain't even give me one.
I'm going to order mine online. You got to go talk to
Tim.
Yeah.
I gotta talk to Tim.
Peace. Yeah. Hey, but no, we appreciate you, man, coming on the podcast. Shout out my boy Ray behind the camera. Shout out Jaydn Ott. Shout out Biggie Bench. Anything you want to say to the community, Cal, the organization, the fans about what's coming up?
Shoot, not really. Go Bears.
Go Bears, baby.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, appreciate you, big dog.
Appreciate
All
it,
love.
fam.
Hell yeah. That's a wrap.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you did good, man. I ain't gonna lie.
That was for sure my favorite interview I've ever done.
You wouldn't believe it if I told you all my pain and suffering. From the north side of South, it was never nothing. These youngers get a couple bands and they think it's something. You gotta learn to stack it and keep hustling. Touched our first 10 racks and I couldn't believe it. Tripled up to 30 and through that mail, we undefeated. Scared.